Hi, teammates. We'll dive into some mysteries. So, Murray Langston is who I'm looking at today, along with a bunch of other guys, so just stay with me. He's the unknown comic, Murray Langston is. And he shows the symbolism of nip tuck. He would put a paper bag over his head. And that kind of represents the woman who is supposed to be redeemed at the end, and everyone is born out of her breasts. That shows the San Onofre power plant and all that area. And that would be the big French event. That would be nuclear, that everyone would be born out of a phoenix type situation and go to heaven. Born of water and spirit. Well, Murray Langston shows all that symbolism, and the Murray and the Langston and nip tuck is like tucking in the nipple, tucking in the San Onofre power plant symbolism, So I thought that was interesting. And then I've got Ken Snake Hips Johnson, who shows the symbolism of Forrest Gump. You can see that from his name. And he is like the opposite of this guy, Otis, Otis Redding, okay? Because Otis Redding was all his life, he was a gospel type singer, and then he got British influenced all through his music. And this Ken Snakehips was English and, had songs in England, and then was killed by his own people, basically, in a coup at a nightclub, and he was decapitated by the bomb that went off. So, Forrest Gump shows symbolism of the ram. My birthday is 3/21/92, so I'm always looking at that ram symbolism, Like the ram is like the doers, and the wisdom is like the thinkers, That's just the most basic way to put it. And those are the Joachim and Boaz pillars. But so anyway, I'm going to be looking into snake hips more. But Al Bowley is who I have a train of thought from. I'm just showing you how I got to all these guys here. Jimmy Campbell and Reg Connolly, okay? They seem to be like they were operating like good operators out of the English Empire, okay? I don't know if they were like being sneaky or if they were actually a good influence on America. But, the English do have some good influencers, and it's not all horrible, but or the 50-50, but I'm not. Let's look into that more together. And then Otis Redding was a well digger, so he's got signs of that Ancient of Days a little bit, symbolism, and then British influence. Now, take a look at all this. After the Tender song that he did, hit song, he did Tramp, okay? Now remember, Lady and the Tramp, they eat the spaghetti, the noodle. The nude Lee is where they match up lips, okay? That's like the bull lock, okay? To get locked out of the bull, basically, is what that is. To have no rapture. Excuse me, because of the nude Lee. It's not necessarily all because of the nude Lee, but it had to be a time of healing with the Megaran and all that, and that's the nude Lee. The noodle is because of the Church 1 getting hit by the Church 2 symbolism. So, the AI and all that. So, that kind of, we can put that on me. That was probably my fault because I didn't respond to certain things that were going on whenever I was in California. It took me a long time to defrost, so you can put that on me. But, this this all shows that with the tramp, and then he fought back with speech that he gave of love crowd. He was like, "Are you a love crowd?" So you can see that he was fighting back all his career as well. And then he got polyps, okay? The Poe lips, okay? The West Point, which is where Edgar Allan Poe went and was naked during a gathering there, and a formation. And it means the democracy, the Western expansion, the America, the West, go West, is Poe lips, or it's like the bullock or something. It's like locking out of the rapture, basically. So that's what he suffered from. So if he was suffering from that, then he must have been trying to do good and fighting back a little bit, just not enough in his mind, or however God wanted him to do that. So then get this. There was a Speedo encounter and duck encounter. When you go down on his Wikipedia page, you'll see that. And then Ben is the only one who survived the plane crash. Otis Redding died in a plane crash and Ben survived. Okay, so they're like, they set up everything to show the symbolism of the time we're in now, basically. But the Speedo, remember, I was a swimmer and, still swim a little bit, but the duck, Donald Duck, Now here's the vision, okay? We'll get to the meat here. The Earl Speedo Sims encounter is when Otis made a deal with Tartaruchi to drown and not submit to the English takeover anymore. That was the plane crash. He drowned in water. The drowning would be as waterboarding of Islam under Trump at FEMA. The Tartaruchi were reinstated in 1965 with the Kecksburg Bell incident, operating outside of operating out of purgatory is where their headquarters was at that point. They had a headquarters in purgatory, and they were all set up there, the Tartaruchi, and that happened in 1965. Okay, and they're all operating. It's as a totem to them. They're all free men. They're as Django. They're just like getting their totem now, is what that is. So this was put in place because of birth of Hu Yi, March 17th, 1963, and the Guyota release that would happen in 2001. Now remember, this is a reincarnation of Hu Yi. It's my dad. So in the Guyota release, Otis Redding is the Dogon creation of 21 streams of Musharpali. Note, now the 34 star holders, 717, is the Father in heaven and Jesus' dad. He stayed in heaven. Okay, so let's not change that. All right. Thank you, teammates.